should you cover your boat or your ATV or your golf cart on your home policy? In most cases, yes. In a lot of cases, no. We're going to talk about that right now. Hey guys, I'm Mark with Think Insurance, and I'm helping you understand your policy, save you time and money. If you guys are interested in learning more insurance advice, I do reviews on companies and all of the above things. Definitely subscribe if you're interested in finding out more about that. Don't forget to turn the bell icon on, and if you want to support the channel, there's a link below where you can buy me a cup of coffee because I am clearly out. And if I hadn't already drinking 2 cups, this video might not be as great as it's going to be. So we have a boat, we have an ATV, we have something on our property that we want to insure under our home. Well, why would you want to insure it under your home policy versus having its own separate policy? In most cases, it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. It's about half the cost. Now, when I say that, don't go ahead and just shut the video off, because when I say cheaper and half the cost, it's not normally that expensive to insure in the first place. A boat, an ATV, typical things like that. In most cases, these items are not more than $300, $350 a year to insure in the first place. That's if you put them on their own policy and they have the coverages that we're gonna go over, which is way better. Now, if you don't like that price and you're just trying to save the most that you can put them under your home policy. The things that you can't put on the home policy is things that have to be insured separately. So your car has to be separate. If there's a home fire, your car's not covered unless it's under its own insurance. You have a motorcycle, that has to go under its own policy. The things that we're talking about are boats and ATVs and golf carts. Those normal things that don't have their own specific policies, because when they're not in the water or not being used, they're typically hidden away or stored. In this scenario, we're going to use a boat. The boat can be fully covered under your home, so if it's parked, sure, it actually would make sense to put it under the home policy. You're looking at a couple things. You now get the liability that you have in your home, which in our scenario was $300,000 to $500,000. If you're going through the A to Z home guide that I did, the playlist, then we talked about our home being $180,000 in replacement cost, and we did $500,000 for liability. Well, if you put the boat under your home policy, that $500,000 liability, if a kid jumps on it and slips off and cracks his head open, if anything happens while it's on the property, you've got that extra coverage. That's the benefit of having it on the home policy. The negative is that if it's not, and you're actually using it in the water, it still carries the liability over, but let's say the boat sinks. Your home policy isn't typically going to have the water towing coverage. It's not going to have like a seepage coverage. So if your oil leaks out of your boat and it's $10,000 to fix, you have zero coverage for that. That's an out-of-pocket expense that you're going to have to pay. If anything happens in any scenario, there's a ton of little add-ons that a boat policy is going to give you for that additional amount that you're going to pay. Golf carts, I typically just put those on the home policy. They usually don't leave the property, so you're not worried about going off. Same thing with ATVs. You just got to be very careful because of that liability portion. The major negative is that if somebody does get hurt and it's on your home policy, we're now having to make a home claim. In insurance, you'll notice with car insurance, you make any claim in most states, your rate goes up because your risk has gone up. Same thing with homes. If you make any claim on your home, your risk goes up, so your policy goes up. Home insurance can almost double when you have certain claims. Boat insurance and ATV insurance and all of those policies are almost excluded from that scenario. So if you have an accident and you claim it on your boat policy, or if you have something you flipped over your four-wheeler and it ruined it and it's $8,000 for the four-wheeler and they paid it and repaired it and fixed it. In this scenario, when we kept them separate, it doesn't affect your home. It doesn't affect your auto. So that's kind of its own clean bucket. You're protecting that because you're insuring it separately elsewhere. If you put it under your home policy, that's going to affect that home and auto policy as well. Whenever you're looking at toys, those are the reasons why you would or wouldn't want it on a home policy. For me, it makes all the sense in the world, mainly because of if you file a claim, it's going to affect the other one, is to have it on its own policy. That finalizes the endorsement section. And if you guys haven't already picked a company, I'm going to link a video here that is going to talk about ways to understand what reviews are on companies and how to pick the right one that's the best fit for you. In the meantime, I need some more coffee. Subscribe if you want more, like button if you got value out of this. I'll see you in the next one.